you think of platforming games, visions of Mario and Sonic and the late 80s, early 90s probably come to mind.
Yes, but what about this year? Well, Tim Gettys from Kinda Funny is here to tell you about some of the great platformers that have come out in 2017.
What's up, guys? I'm Tim Gettys from Kinda Funny Games, and today I want to talk about something very near and dear to my heart, and that is mascot platformers. Now, I grew up in the 90s, and that's their time during the console wars, where it was Nintendo, PlayStation, Sega going, head to head with Crash Bandicoot, Sonic, and Mario. And I never would have thought that there would come a time where they would go the way of, well, I guess Sega, when you really come to think about it. But they're back now. It's 2017, and it's kind of the renaissance of platformers. Now, let's get right into it. The first one, Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo Switch. This is the big one, and now here's the thing. Mario, out of all of these mascots, is probably the one that never went away in both quality and quantity of releases. We've seen many Mario games over the last couple decades, but when it comes down to it, Mario Odyssey is a big deal because it is the first time that we're getting a 3D sandbox-style adventure Mario game since Super Mario Sunshine in 2001 on the Nintendo GameCube. Before that was Mario 64, and that lineage of Mario game progression stopped after that. We got a lot more 2D games. We got some 3D games like Galaxy and 3D World and 3D Land that took that in a bit more of a platforming, like obstacle-based routes, whereas Odyssey is going back to what made 3D Mario special, which is exploring vast open worlds and kind of just being a collectathon. And the fact that I could take it on the road with me and play anywhere I want on the Nintendo Switch, it's a little mind-blowing to think about. The next one I want to talk about is very important to me, Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy. I never would have thought that they would take Crash Bandicoot 1, Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, and Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped and remaster them from the ground up for the PlayStation 4. And even more than that, I didn't expect the games to sell as well as they did. Now, sure, in terms of critical reception, the reviews are good, but they're reviewed based on what they are, which is very faithful remakes of the original games. Do they hold up in 2017? My answer would be yes, but hey, you should probably play to find out. A whole bunch of other people have. It's one of the best-selling games of the year every month on the NPD. It is right up there on the top of the charts, and that is crazy to me. Hopefully showing that we will get a new Crash Bandicoot game soon. Now, the next one I want to talk about, my boy Sonic. I never thought I'd get another 2D Sonic game, especially after the travesty that was Sonic the Hedgehog 4, episodes 1 and 2. But to get something like Sonic Mania, that is essentially a love letter to the Genesis Sonic games, is such a special thing because the guys that made this game were fans of Sonic growing up, and this is the game that they remember playing. There's remix levels, there's new levels, the music feels like Sonic should. Everything about Sonic Mania is just right, and I could not recommend it any higher. Now, the next game that I want to talk about is Cuphead. And what's interesting about this is Microsoft and the Xbox are the only console that never really had its mascot platformer. Sure, they had Master Chief with Halo, but he ain't, hopping around, jumping on things. Nah, but Cuphead is a platformer in the new era. It's so hard, it's so challenging, but it's so rewarding. Every single time you take down a boss after, failing 37 times in a row, you just want to move right to the next one. It's beautiful 1930s cartoon aesthetic, makes it entirely worth playing through, and as hard as it is so rewarding to be able to look back at the end of the day and be like, you know what? I did that. The next game I want to talk about is Yooka-Laylee. Now, Yooka-Laylee really kind of ushered in this renaissance of platforming. Kickstarted back in 2015. It finally released in 2017 on all the platforms except for the Nintendo Switch, but that version is still coming. And it kind of came out to okay reviews. It's a spiritual successor to the Banjo-Kazooie games on the Nintendo 64. And if you really enjoy that kind of collectathon, big worlds where you're just going around getting a whole bunch of this and a whole bunch of that just to see the numbers kind of tick up, with limited platforming challenge, Yooka-Laylee's probably for you. Now, there's another game called A Hat in Time that just came out on every system, again, except for the Switch. That version's coming later. And this is a bit more in the style of Mario 64. It's kind of what a lot of people expected Yooka-Laylee to be. So if you're looking for something that isn't as mainstream as the Crash Bandicoots or the Sonic the Hedgehogs, you should definitely give A Hat in Time a shot. So I guess it goes without saying that 2017 has been an amazing year for fans of both 3D and 2D platformers. I am super stoked because, again, as a kid of the 90s, these are all right up my alley. If you want to see way more content from us, you can go to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. We'd really appreciate it if you subscribed there. Until next time, let Tim host.
I love platformers. It's
Yes.
a formula and a style and a genre that never really goes out of style.
Yes, I agree. And there's something else too that I guess we could say never goes out of style. Nintendo.
Here are a few games for their latest creation, the Nintendo Switch, that you can take home with you today.
Combining the world, characters, and strategy of the Fire Emblem series and the hack and slash fun of the Dynasty Warriors series, this is Fire Emblem Warriors. Developed by the team that brought us Hyrule Warriors, which brought Dynasty Warriors style combat to the Legend of Zelda universe, Fire Emblem Warriors uses this winning formula to place you in the shoes of familiar Fire Emblem characters as you battle across iconic locations, fighting massive armies and ferocious monsters. Execute over-the-top melee combo attacks and issue strategic commands to your team. If you don't own a Switch, good news, because Fire Emblem Warriors is also available for new Nintendo 3DS and new Nintendo 2DS systems. Both versions also feature Amiibo support.
Last month, Mario set sail on his airship, the Odyssey, on a globe-trekking mission to once again save Princess Peach from Bowser in Super Mario Odyssey. Now, that premise may sound familiar, but trust me, this is not like any Mario game you've ever played before. Sure, the open-world playstyle may remind you of games like Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Sunshine, but this time around, Mario has some very special new abilities that make this adventure something truly unique. I'm talking about the ability to use Mario's hat, Cappy, to take control of other objects, characters, and even enemies. And that's just one of the new abilities Mario has up his sleeve, or maybe under his hat would be more accurate? Never mind. Maybe you're looking for a little nostalgia? Well, Super Mario Odyssey allows you to explore special sections of the game in throwback 8-bit style gameplay as Pixel Mario.